The maroon and gold trim. Stefan Ingo jumping center for the Marist Red Foxes. Our three officials, Tony Chiazza, Matt Potter, and Mike Nardone, and the Red Foxes will open up with the game's first possession on the offensive end.
Iona is going to get up in Marist shorts, half court, full court, three-quarter court all night long and try to wear out Marist.
Isaiah Brickner giving to Ingo on the three-point line. Devon Foley, the handoff. Gardner short on the jumper. Ingo does a terrific job. Tim for Marist getting on the offensive boards. Did you like their looks on their first possession?
Not bad. You got to pay attention to where their misses are coming from. If their misses are short, you have to wonder if Marist has the legs playing the extra game this weekend in this tournament.
Matchup will focus on all night long. Gardner and Junior Joseph, Nelly Junior Joseph for the Gales. Danis Jenkins missing from long range. Shema, the 7-footer, is there for the putback. He opened up the scoring last night with a three-pointer out on the perimeter.
Well, Shema's not a guy that's going to go up and get a lot of rebounds in traffic, but that one, he just elevated with the long arms over the top.
Pressure by the Gales in the backcourt. Eric John Luis, co-MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, along with Manhattan's Josh Roberts.
John Dunn went over the pressure quite a bit this morning at shoot-around, and Patrick Gardner is the key component to beating this pressure. He must help them not only get it in, but also bring it up if the guards are pressuring Iona.
What did you take away from John Dunn in our conversation with him?
Well, he's happy the way they're playing. That's obvious, you know, regarding their season they had. And you look at Marist, and the thing about them, they're playing with a lot of confidence and with house money.
Junior Joseph, and a nice job by Noah Harris to get back in transition. Harris is going to be called for the foul. That's his first, team's first.
Well, Marist, one thing, they have to be patient against Iona, and Iona's pressure will force you into this type of situation. And the block shot on the jumper, you must identify who's guarding you, and that time Nelly Junior Joseph was out on the perimeter. They need to keep moving the ball.
Iona as a team averaging 5.5 blocks per game, third in the nation entering tonight. 91 more blocks, now 92 more blocks than their opponents during this college basketball season. Junior Joseph, empty trip at the line. This is Gardner, Patrick Gardner, 6'10", getting it inside. Ingo with the bucket, and the first of the night for the Red Foxes.
Gardner showing his skills early, bringing the ball up against the press, then delivering the perfect dime at the rim.
Shema out on the three-point line, giving off for Nelly Junior Joseph. Walter Clayton Jr., the MAAC Player of the Year, buries the first three-pointer of the game, and the Gales up by 3.
Well, Marist is in deep trouble if the guards from Iona start ringing it in from downtown.
Walter Clayton, 44% on the season from three-point land. On the turnover, the three is good from the corner for Jenkins. Shema with the first bucket of the game. Marist trailing for the first time here in the MAAC tournament, and now the Red Foxes down 6.
Well, Patrick Gardner beat the press, but then he's got to stop his dribble and try to find the open man. He got trapped at the midcourt line and just fumbled it away, and then Iona will turn those turnovers into buckets.
Gardner strong to the rim, but denied. And out of bounds to the Gales. Patrick Gardner has certainly put together a terrific story here for the 22-23 basketball season for John Dunn and Marist.
Gardner got swiped down below with the body, but officials passed on the call.
Good backdoor pass and a foul called. Jenkins receiving the pass from Clayton from up top.
Iona is in rhythm tonight, and the backdoor cut to the rim, and this, my friend, looked like a clean block.
Isaiah Brickner called for the foul. Marist as his team has done terrific on the defensive end in terms of block shots, had 10 in its quarterfinal victory against Quinnipiac.
Danis Jenkins is so important for Iona. He and Walter Clayton Jr. are just totally in sync.
Jenkins, a junior from Dallas, Texas, and Dallas Hillcrest High School. 8-0 Iona run. Almost 3 minutes off the clock. Again, the pressure. And at times last night, Tim, Marist had difficulty with the St. Peter's pressure. And Iona can dial it up as we see.
They had a big lead at halftime, and St. Peter's kept the heat on it. Marist, it was not impressive how they attacked it. They know tonight they must be much better against the pressure.
Lob intended for Nelly Jr. Joseph, out of bounds. And Marist will take over, down 10-2 early on.
Jenkins trying to get Junior Joseph involved early, which he wasn't last night. He didn't get going until the second half, and good idea to try to get him some touches down in the paint early.
Jaden Daughtry, first-year player from Fresh Meadows, New York, into the game for the Red Foxes. Brickner, freshman, is the primary ball handler, along with Noah Harris. Gardner missing on the three, ball batted out. Possession continues for the Red Foxes.
Marist, game plan tonight, one of the keys on the offensive end is try to space the floor and take some threes.
Marist early on, cold from the field, especially behind the three-point line, now 0 for 5. John Luis, front rim, no. Brickner, the rebound, looking to push, and now will show the patience ahead for Daughtry.
Marist will give John Luis that shot on the outside. He's more of a driver.
Drive here by Gardner, and he picks up the bucket. And Marist within 6.
Well, John Dunn has to be happy early that Patrick Gardner is very involved in every aspect of the offense.
Walter Clayton Jr. elevates, shot spins out. Cooley is there for the rebound. Gardner's three, almost all the way down, but it rims out.
Not sure how that stayed out, but Gardner just shook his head.
Clayton losing it, out of bounds off Marist. 21 to shoot. And with a timeout in play, we keep it right here. Iona out to a strong start, #1 seed. 13 wins in a row for Iona entering this MAAC championship game in Atlantic City. And we take a look at the notes. Again, Marist, gem of the first bucket of the game, Tim. That was their first time trailing in this tournament. Over 3 games, they never trailed against Manhattan, Quinnipiac, and St. Peter's.
Well, you talked to John Dunn, he said, what happened? You know, how did you go from a season that you had as an 11th seed in this tournament to playing tonight? He just said, you know, everything started just to click and the confidence level built throughout the weekend, and took the first body blow from Iona, and they've responded.
Iona Gales, Jenkins 5 and Clayton 3. Gales again off to a quick start.
One thing that Marist must do is get out on the shooters and also then clean up on the glass. They've got to try to get some easy buckets, and that has to happen off the glass and get out transition so they don't have to face the pressure.
Iona, with the last night's victory in the semifinals against 5-seed Niagara, extending its win streak to 13 in a row, as I mentioned, but also their 26th win overall on the season, eclipsing their match from a year ago when they won 25 games. And we welcome you into Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Texas Southern, the Tigers winning the SWAC championship over Grambling. As we welcome you into the MAAC championship game, Iona Gales, the #1 seed, leading the #11 seed Marist Red Foxes 10-4 early on here in the first half. Coming out of our first media timeout, along with former Iona and Providence head coach Tim Welch, I'm Steve Lennox. On the Saturday night, things are busy right now around the country in the MAAC tournament that got underway Tuesday, wrapping up here tonight in AC. in and out of his hands, and Marist will take over.
Well, Rick Pitino not happy. They probably shouldn't have thrown the ball to Nelly Jr. Joseph on that possession. He did not have good space.
We take a look at tonight's starting line. It's brought to you by Ready Nutrition. That one falling off the rim. Iona going the other way. Clayton Jr. hit on his first three, misses on that attempt. And Marist again will take over. Marist in this one. Down early on, but within 6. Iona 0 of 3 from the field and 2 turnovers on its last 5 possessions.
Marist only has 4 points, but Patrick Gardner has been very, very aggressive, and that's exactly what Marist needs to do to try to stay in and win this game, because especially against the pressure, he's got to help bring the ball up the court. He can be that tall outlet over the top, but he's been also aggressive going to the rim, and had 1-3 go in almost all the way in and then came out.
Anton Brookshire is checked in for Iona, replacing Walter Clayton Jr. Brickner. Terrific performance, career high in points against Quinnipiac in the quarterfinals. Here is Brickner on the three-point line. Too strong. Cooley, offensive board. And Ferris is checked in for the Red Foxes. 6'3" junior. Again, Gardner working against Junior Joseph. Keeps the pivot foot. Misses on the shot. Eric John Luis, the rebound for the Gales.
Real good defense by Iona. Nice contest on the outside against Gardner.
The 5 on the floor right now for the Iona Gales, brought to you by Ready Nutrition. Gardner backing in, going to his left. Soft jump hook with the left hand right there for Patrick Gardner. And Marist within 4.
Marist should not run any half-court offense unless Patrick Gardner at least puts his fingertips on the ball.
You mentioned last night they weren't getting into him early enough in the clock. You see a change here tonight with that.
He's so important. I mean, he's going to play like a point forward, point center, point guard. And there, John Luis.
John Luis just 26% on the season from behind the three-point line. Knocks down that three-pointer. And the lead up to 7 for Iona.
He looked very confident on that one. And last night, Niagara didn't even guard him on the outside, but Patrick Gardner, he helps bring the ball up against the press and play the physical game as well. Nice little soft touch over the top, and no contest at all. Jean Louis.
Eric John Luis, co-defensive player of the year once again in the MAAC this season, with Josh Roberts of Manhattan taking a seat. Rick Pitino got strong production from Sadiku Ibinayo, who is on the floor right now for the Gales. He had 8 points last night in the victory against the Niagara Purple Eagles. Gemma coming out on the ball handler. Ferris. Ferris, no good. Shema, the rebound. Ibinayo with the bucket. First year forward from Ghana. Again, 8 points last night. And whatever production they get off the bench, that's almost gravy.
Ibinayo is just confident. We talked to him a little bit today, and he said, "We're winning tonight." That was the first of his. Hello, good luck. Yes, we're winning. Thank you.
Put it on the back pages.
Well, he didn't even play in the first game against Mount St. Mary's, but he gave Rick Pitino some real good minutes. So far tonight, the same deal. Last night he took a charge. He was physical in the lane, and he's important because they do not have a deep bench.
Harris into the paint, challenging against Shema, and now Harris trailing the play.
Harris should have kicked that ball out to the three-point line.
Shema, Marist fans behind us wanted a carry as the ball went high in the air. He ended up stepping on the end line, and with that, Marist will take over down by 9.
So when Noah Harris drives the ball into the gap, unless he has a clear lane to the rim, and that time all the help came in. He had open players on the outside to drive and kick for the three.
Daughtry, shot falls off the rim. Daughtry hard to the floor.
Well,
foul is going to be called on Osborne Schemmel.
I like what John Dunn is doing against the pressure. Last night against St. Peter's, they were almost just hoping to get it over half court and then run their offense. Against Iona, you cannot do that. They will eat you up, spit you out, and swallow you to death and choke you for the night because of the fact they try to wear you out and then they'll trap you in different spots on the floor. But if you can try to go to the rim and beat the press at the rim, that's the only way that Marist can win this game tonight. And so far, so good for them attacking. Now, they haven't finished as well as they want, but they are very aggressive.
Daughtry last night, 7 points, 10 rebounds. Second time this season he's gone double figures in rebounds. Schemmel will take a break. Ellie Junior Joseph back on the floor for the Gales. Junior Joseph did not have a rebound last night in the first half. Rick Pitino quoted in telling us today, message was simple at halftime. You don't rebound in the second half. He had 6 rebounds in the second half. He said, if you don't rebound in the second half, we're going home.
Well, I think they have to give him some touches early, too, to get him involved in the game, and that will bring other aspects of his game to the forefront.
Marist looking to cut into a 7-point deficit. Barris hits on the three-pointer. Marist first of the game. They open up 0 of 7 from behind the line.
John Dunn told his team this morning, we're going to space it, we're going to push it, we're going to shoot a lot of threes.
Barris 31% on the season from behind the arc. Clayton Jr. looking to answer. Strong move by Walter Clayton Jr.
A strong move for sure. I mean, he is a powerful guard. Quick, can shoot it from the outside, but fearless at the rim.
Clayton Jr. from Lake Wells, Florida. Sutton jumper is good. All of a sudden, Marist cold early on, starting to find their footing and the confidence on the perimeter.
Well, the key against Iona is not only beat the pressure, but in the half court, move the ball a little bit, because Iona play back a little bit in the half court defensively. They get up in your face full court and at the half court, but once they get into the lane, they pull back a little bit. Walter Clayton Jr. Last night he popped his ankle late, no problem. He has come ready to go, and Marist is raining threes early. They're trying to take advantage of the spacing, and then the power guard at the rim for the Gales.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com, and by Levy Recognition. Recognition solutions that elevate performance. Iona 17, Marist 13, 1 versus 11 in the MAAC Championship as we take a look at the keys to the game. Tim Welsh, brought to you by Jersey Mike's.
Well, we're seeing it early that Iona needs to up-tempo this game and need to put the pressure on, and they're doing it. Marist, for the most part, has handled the ball pretty well. They have to force the tempo and limit Gardner's touches. He's getting the ball a lot right now. He's bringing the ball up the court, he's attacking, and Marist must handle the press. They've had some issues early, and then they're going to rain the threes. They're going to keep taking them, and they need to make at least 10 to win this game.
And Marist, again, did not trail in the first 3 games, trailing early on here against the #1 seed Iona Gales. They shot well from behind the arc in the first 3 games. They also held their first 3 opponents to below 20% from behind the arc. 3 3-pointers early on for Iona.
Well, Iona gets the game to their pace, and that's a problem for Marist because obviously they've played the extra game, but they've got to get out and just force the issue. Make Iona put the ball on the floor, and then their guards have to get involved with the rebounding.
Nelly Jr. Joseph, junior forward out of Nigeria at the line. MAAC Rookie of the Year back in 2021. All MAAC first team for the 2nd straight year. Player of the Week during the regular season 5 times for the Iona Gales. Harris will go pick up the basketball.
Shema at 6'9", 6'10", up on the ball, long arms. They're going to try to trap in the corner.
The 3 bigs in the corner. Gardner trapped by the 7-footer Shema and the 6'9" junior Joseph.
Well, John Dunn is motioning Gardner to start deep and then flash to the ball. He's an easy target when he's just standing there, and he needs to get the ball not in the corner, more in the middle of the floor.
And a foul called with Harris trying to inbound the basketball. 3rd team foul on the Gales. Danis Jenkins picking up the personal.
Well, that's a good sign for John Dunn if they're going to call the holds in the backcourt while Iona is pressing.
They get the steal on the inbound. Shema the dunk.
Right now, Marist, they have too many guys in the backcourt. They need to space the floor a little bit more to open it up so they can dribble drive against this pressure.
Farris trying to use the screen by Gardner. Whips it inside for Gardner. Gardner going back to his left, called for the travel violation.
Well, this is what John Dunn wants to do. He wants to get Gardner in a pick and roll situation, and real good steal by Jenkins. And Marist just struggling to get it even inbounds.
Isaiah Brickner comes back onto the floor. John Dunn talking with Noah Harris. As Harris takes a seat. Harris has not led at any point here in the first half. Walter Clayton Jr. a little strong on the 3. Brickner gets in front of Barrick John Luis, out of bounds to the Red Foxes.
Well, we saw it on this previous possession where Gardner was called for the travel, but Marist knows that Iona will switch those ball screens, and they're trying to get Gardner in a situation where he is defended by a guard rolling to the rim.
And that pass out of bounds right up the sideline. And it will be Iona basketball, where Marist just inbounded the ball. Now, Gardner's going to play likely 35-plus minutes in this game, but where do you try to get him his rest?
During the timeouts, during the TV timeouts, you know, they cannot afford to have him off the floor, hardly at all.
Clayton Jr. finding an opening against Farris. MAAC Player of the Year with the bucket, extending the lead for Iona up to 9. And John Dunn calls a timeout. Iona leading 22-13. We'll be back after a 30-second timeout. Iona 22, Marist 13. We'll take a look at the last bucket by Walter Clayton Jr. that led to the Marist timeout.
Well, Walter Clayton Jr. usually makes high degree of difficulty type shots, but this is just way too easy. He's just blowing by Cam Marist. And if that's going to be the case, Marist has to step up and give early help.
Clayton Jr. went for 21 against Mount St. Mary's in Iona's quarterfinal victory, 22 last night against Niagara in the semifinals. Iona has hit on 5 of its last 7 field goal attempts. Tyler St. Percy into the game, out of bounds off the Red Foxes. 4 turnovers now on their last 4 possessions.
Well, that's a little disheartening for Marist to the point where their defense have not been good in the last few possessions. They need to get down and dirty and try to create something from their defense.
Jenkins, the floater, doesn't get it to fall. Ball tipped back up and in. Merrick John Luis credited with the basket.
Merrick John Luis, just a powerful wing guard with those long arms, playing very well so far tonight.
The lead up to 11 for Iona. Gardner against Junior Joseph. Shot clock now for Marist inside 10. Cam Ferris elevates and hits on the jumper from up top.
Good job by Ferris, just kind of sizing up Nelly Junior Joseph. Iona continues to switch those ball screens.
Junior Joseph to the corner. 3-pointer no good by John Luis.
Nice find by Junior Joseph. He felt the double, found the open shooter in the corner.
Gardner against Junior Joseph. Patrick Gardner with the bucket, and he's got 6. He's 3 of 9 from the field.
Again, Marist needs to go through him on every possession.
Junior Joseph setting up in the paint, trying to face up, and called for the travel violation. And with that turnover, Marist will have the basketball when we come back, down 24-17 against Iona in the MAAC championship. Welcome back to ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal. Iona 24, Marist, a number 11 seed in this week's MAAC Championship 17. Walter Clayton Jr. again leading the way for the Gales.
I would say Walter Clayton Jr. deserved the honor as the MAAC Player of the Year. After watching him this weekend, he does everything for Iona on both ends of the floor. He's become a much better defender this season for Rick Pitino, but this part of the game is easy. He makes it look easy because he's strong, powerful, versatile, skilled, and smart.
You see the award winners in the MAAC for the college basketball season. Rick Pitino, second straight year taking Coach of the Year honors. My partner Tim Welsh was the Iona and MAAC Coach of the Year. Back-to-back years, 3 regular season titles. Under Tim Welsh in the mid and late 1990s. The resume at that point, you weren't putting the finishing touches on it, but boy, your time at Iona, that was a nice resume booster, as we like to call it.
Well, it's a great program. It is. Rick Pitino is continuing to tradition, but Marist is going to have something to say about that. They have a good game plan tonight. I like that they're using Gardner to break the press. He needs to turn and be aggressive. When he's got Nelly Jr. Joseph one-on-one in the middle of the floor without a trap coming, blow by him and make things happen for himself or others.
Iona head coach Rick Pitino in recent weeks, late stages of the MAAC regular season, talking about Patrick Gardner, and these two teams met late in the regular season, said he's got the makings, and out of bounds off Gardner, Iona basketball, he said he's got the makings of a good European pro basketball player. We talked to him today. He actually said he could see him as being a late first round, early second round pick in the NBA draft come June.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but right there, another turnover from Marist. If they're going to throw it to Gardner, they've got to run some misdirection, get him moving away from the ball, then coming back. That time they just tried to throw it right over the top when he was stationary.
Clayton Jr. the miss, and we'll stay on this end of the floor. Foul called as Junior Joseph was in position underneath the basket.
He was in position. He just parked himself right under the rim, and no one even attempted to block him out. He's hard to move when he gets down there.
Cam Ferris called for the foul for the Red Foxes. Here's Jenkins. Brickner runs to the brick wall. Junior Joseph. Junior Joseph, offensive rebound, and a foul is going to be called again. Javon Cooley going to the floor.
Well, you see, he's blocked out there, but they need help. They need help down low. He's just a brick wall down there. So the guards of Marist and the wings, they have to get down there and get in the mix on the glass.
Junior Joseph goes 6'9", 240. Jenkins on the baseline. One-handed floater, no good. And Gardner finally picks it up. Under 7 to go, first half, MAAC championship. Iona looking for a MAAC title. No stranger to being in this situation. Marist, a championship game for the first time in the MAAC. There's Ferris working against Clayton Jr. Shot off the mark. Junior Joseph with the bucket. Marist missing on that attempt. Here's Clayton Jr. Reverse Coley, the rejection. And the foul is going to be called on Michael Jefferson. He'll pick up his first. This
is good defense. Marist needs to do this. They need to give the help when Walter Clayton Jr. drives to the rim. And that last half-court possession for Marist, an empty one. John Dunn not happy. The ball never got inside the three-point line, nor did Patrick Gardner touch it.
Anton Brookshire back on the floor for the Gales. Walter Clayton Jr. gets a breather.
Well, Nelly Jr. Joseph's doing a good job on Patrick Gardner, denying him all over the floor.
Brookshire, the denial there, getting him in the passing lane against Cooley. Marist last night, St. Peter's down 21 at the half, came back, got to within 3 in the late stages of the second half. Marist able to hold on, but time and time again, as St. Peter's got back into a game, Marist had difficulty inbounding the ball, not only after made baskets, but on sideline plays as well. Brickner may have gotten away with a travel. That shot falls off the rim, and Brickner kind of holding his head with his two hands saying, how did that not fall?
Yeah, good spacing. That was a pretty good possession. They're doing a good job in the half court. Iona's so hard to guard, and now trying to get it inside to Junior Joseph.
Bobbles it, regroups, looking for Barrett John Luis on the baseline. Iona turnover.
Marist has had a couple of these. And that ball again, it's two of those. Have been all the way down and out.
Here's Brickner on the drive. Inside. Feed to Daughtry. Daughtry fouled. He'll go to the line for a pair.
Well, one of the keys of attacking this pressure, not only in the full court, but in the half court, and this is just a good delivery, and Marist needs to continue to do this. But if they have good court spacing, they can dribble drive into the lane and find the open man. But one of the keys is make sure you keep your dribble. Don't pick up your dribble, because when you do, they attack with one and sometimes two defenders.
Champ Week rolls on next at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific over on ESPN with a Pac-12 championship game. Arizona against UCLA, also available on the ESPN app. Seems like we've been destined for that matchup in the Pac-12.
Good ones last night, the Arizona State game. Arizona just, their weapons are multiple on the offensive end, and UCLA, we know how good they are, especially defensively.
Marist within 5 as we approach 5 minutes to go in the opening half. Gardner going to the floor. Junior Joseph, the mismatch, nearly throws it away. Brookshire with 7 to shoot. Brookshire losing it. Gardner right under the basket, coming away with the basketball.
Marist's defense has been very good in the last few possessions, and Iona a little disjointed, not spaced enough, trying to dribble into traffic.
Brickner unable to get it over the rim. And Iona going the other way.
You don't get those back. You have to take advantage of that opportunity. That will bite you.
Walter Clayton Jr. makes Marist pay as he picks up the bucket. He's now up to 9.
That sometimes happens. You miss an easy one and you put your head down. You don't run back and take care of business on defense, and Clayton will attack you and burn you when that happens.
Double in the corner. Iona had been 0 for 5 on their previous possessions before that basket. Harris gets a look up top for a 3. That one no good. Clayton, strong rebounder for a guard, into the front court. Under 4 to go, first half. Junior Joseph, the rebound. 3 red jerseys around him, and a foul called on Marist. Under 4 to go. Iona has not trailed in the first half. Right now, up by 7 against the Red Foxes.
Hanging in there, but these easy opportunities need to go down for them if they're going to pull the upset.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. And Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. MAAC championship here in Atlantic City. Iona Gales have not trailed here in the first half. Right now up 7 on the 11th seed Marist Red Foxes. We have you covered on Selection Sunday. It all starts at noon Eastern on ESPN with College Basketball Live. To prep the day at 6, Reese and the guys look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced, followed by bracketology with breakdowns of each region. At 8, the women's field of 68 is revealed with continuing coverage on ESPNU. At 9 and at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, even more coverage of both brackets. Everything is also streaming live on the ESPN app. Tickets punched. Texas winning the Big 12. Texas Southern, the Tigers winning the SWAC. It seems like Vermont is up there just about every year.
Saturday morning, day before Selection Sunday, Burlington, Vermont. Vermont punches a ticket. It's like Groundhog Day. They had a terrific season, but UMass Lowell had a great year as well. Pat Duquette, the coach of UMass Lowell, fought hard, but Vermont's got a lot of options at home court up in Burlington.
Brookshire, strong on the 3. And out of bounds to Marist.
Very fortunate on that one, and their guards can't stand and watch on the perimeter when Iona takes threes. They have to take 2 or 3 steps in. Ferris getting a call for the push on that one. Ferris knocked over Walter Clayton Jr. He's trying to get open. Walter Clayton Jr. was in his way, and he just shoved him to the floor. Good call by Tony Chazza.
Clayton Jr. on the inbounds, 20 to shoot for the Gales.
John Dunn saying, wait a minute, they're holding us on every play, and then you call that, but I think the refs have done a good job of balancing their calls.
Walter Clayton Jr. on the reverse side, and Iona now up 28-19.
Well, you know he's going right, because that's where he makes his money. And you force him left, and somehow, some way, he always finds a way to go back to his right.
Patrick Gardner, huge 3 for Marist as we approach 3 minutes to go.
Well, again, that's the first time he's touched the ball in a few possessions. They need to keep doing that. He's so skilled and smart.
2-possession game, under 3 remaining, first half. Iona has not trailed. Brookshire off glass and in. Again, any bench production that Iona gets in this game, both in minutes and point production, is of value. And a steal again in the backcourt.
Brookshire, a little pesky guy coming in off the bench. Only plays 10 minutes a game, but he's been very solid tonight.
Walter Clayton Jr. misses from long range. Ball batted around. Eric John Luis for Clayton Jr. Sort of in between there. And Brickner finally comes away with it.
Iona really putting the pressure on Marist on the backboards.
Holy denied by Clayton Jr. Out of bounds to Iona.
Well, what can't this man do? He does everything, including resisting at the rim. Walter Clayton Jr., where did he come from? We all know he was a great football player in high school. And he's got the toughness, the quickness, and the ability to elevate with timing.
Abinaya. Iona on a roll right now on both ends.
Confidence building. The bench helping, and everything revolving around Walter Clayton Jr. When you have guys making plays like that, everyone lifts their game.
Gardner with 8. Splashes home that jumper. He's at double figures with 11.
Argentina not happy. Walter Clayton Jr. got switched up on Gardner on that possession and kind of just took a step back and didn't deny. Caught it on the wing. Easy shot over the top.
Junior Joseph on the feed, missing initially, and he's there for the putback.
A little crash at the rim, but a good old flop call. Last one I saw was in January. Officials don't like to call that, and they're not calling it anymore.
Back iron, no. St. Percy going to the floor. Breckner looking inside. Gardner, dangerous pass, but he got it in there. Coming up on the All-State halftime report, catch you up with Jordan Cornette, Coach Crean, and Wojo in studio.
Walter Clayton Jr. He's just a tireless player. Last night he rolled his ankle. Second half of their win over Niagara, it looked like it was pretty serious. He went to the sidelines, retied his shoe, and popped up, came right back in.
Gardner continues to lead the way for the Red Foxes. He's got 12. Other players have combined for 9. That's to his total right there to make it a 9-point game. Gardner will take a breather right here.
Here's your rest.
I believe,
that you
yeah,
wanted,
there you go.
The 21 seconds. You got a timeout as well. He may come back in after this timeout, although defensively they need to give him a break. But Walter Clayton Jr., we talked about his offense, but this came from, he almost took off from the free throw line. He just sailed in the air. And not only the timing, but the block without fouling.
Cooley thought he had the easy 2 on the dunk, and Clayton Jr. with the denial. Marist, 31 years ago tonight in the NEC championship game. That's the last time they've ever played for a conference tournament title. They've never done it in the MAAC. They're playing here tonight against the top seed Iona Gals, looking to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Iona looking for its 14th MAAC tournament championship.
Well, it all started with Jim Valvano and Pat Kennedy, Kevin Willard, Jeff Grulin, Tim Cluse, just great tradition.
Tim Welch.
Well,
yes,
the foundation was laid long before we took over, but Iona continues to have an elite program, and it's a smart hire, hiring Rick Pitino. Little 1-3-1 zone out of that timeout from Marist.
Jefferson back to Walter Clayton Jr. with 1. Brookshire did get it off, misses the shot. Iona will go into the locker room up 35-26 on Marist. After the break, we will send it to the studio for the All-State halftime report.